Kind of dark.
All right, welcome back to Honor Hero. So we're going to get started here. Okay, Round Peg says you had sex with another woman while with your girlfriend. That's called cheating. Now, video they're talking about is one where I was saying, warning, watch.
Do you want to look at it?
Let me see real quick. Let me see real fast which one.
Sure.
Oh, sorry about that noise.
Yeah.
It was on the one that says sex surrogate therapy. Warning, watch this before you start things I wish I knew before starting. So it's on that one. Anyway, here we go. So I said it's not cheating. Said girlfriend knew about it. Said, have you ever been cheated on? I said, I have, and it goes like this. You find out you were told that your girlfriend or boyfriend cheated on you. You find out or you're told they did it. For me, I found out once before, and I was also told like 3 times. But that was I was a little bit younger then. But yeah, that's how it pretty much went. Also another time I found out that she was cheating on me. So that's how you find out. If you don't know, watch Bounty Hunter D. Okay, now so I said now here's how the sex surrogate therapy goes. So it goes like this. This is the short version. You and your girlfriend both know that you will be having sex with another woman and discuss whether or not it is a good idea. If the girlfriend says yes, you can work on the sex surrogate therapy, then you can. It's not cheating if it's planned to happen with both people's knowledge, just in case you didn't know. I don't know your age, but yeah, it's not cheating when the other person's input is involved. It's like how when 2 people, okay, sit down to talk about having a baby and they have a baby, it's not, there's no trapping a person. But if you're totally responsible and use a condom and she's on and she says she's on birth control and goes into the bathroom and inserts the sperm into her vagina from the used condom to get pregnant without your knowledge, that's called trapping a guy. The key difference between cheating and not cheating is a decision made on your own versus a decision made together. If you still don't get it, you might have to grow up, in age a little more. So it's okay. Don't worry about it. Your brain will mature enough eventually. Experience is the best teacher sometimes. There is a longer version. The longer version is, say, for this situation, let's say you have a problem in your past with Christians doing things to you in terms of molestation since you was 8 all the way up until age 17. So then you get out of that situation. Then you get in a relationship with a lady, and now, 22, now you got sex issues that come up that you never thought that could get fixed. Okay. Then your own girlfriend finds someone called a sex surrogate therapist and recommends her to you. Then you tell her, well, are you sure? Because what if you see it as cheating in the end? But she is positive it won't be like that, so that things are okay. So then you tell her, well, I'm going to be open about everything that happens so that nothing is hidden. And then you are, but the problem is the mental breakdowns, like I would have. Okay. Mental breakdowns after the sessions that no one is prepared for. Neither my girlfriend or me. Okay. Because I've never done it. Never went through this stuff before. But then there is all these little tiny details you don't know of or think of until asked, because you're not big into knowing what is romantic and what is not, and it blows up from there. Just watch the session videos where I talk about session 1, 2, and 3, and you'll understand. Anyways, hope this helps you understand the difference. If not, experience will teach you. Ones who have been, teach you the ones who have been cheated on. So let's hope not. Let's hope your girlfriend, will talk to you first and give you a chance to fix what is wrong, and then tell you she will have sex with someone else if you don't do this or that. Okay. Then when you don't do this or that, and she has sex with someone else, she didn't cheat. Okay. Because remember, she told you she would do it. Okay. And you didn't care. Or if you do care and you fix the issue and she has sex with someone else anyways, then yes, it's called cheating. Okay. So I did the best I could explain this. If you still don't get the difference, I'm sorry, I gave it my best shot. And by the way, don't even dream about having a threesome when you get older, because, because, based on what you said, even if you or your girlfriend agree to a threesome, you will be cheating, just letting you know that, in case you or your girlfriend might feel experimental later in life. But that's by your logical way of thinking, because, it's not mine. But just trying to teach you to, to get to understand the difference, that's all. I just want to say thanks for the comment. But I had to basically read all that. Anyway, because I'd rather have read it than, had it all down and have it be deleted or have YouTube take it down or wherever else. Okay, anyway, in those videos or sessions or whatever, okay, the person behind the camera is her, is my lady, the whole time. So you're saying, in this case you didn't, don't understand. Here's the thing, is that don't say that to the next person that you might have a relationship with yourself. It sounds good to say, I don't know how old you are, but life is a way more complicated. And it's not as simple as splurting something out, saying something like, oh, you had sex with another woman while with your girlfriend, that's called cheating. Because what happens if you, I don't know if you're female or male, but what happens if you have a guy or you have a chick and you want to try things experimental sexually with her, things that you like to do, and guess what? She can't do that because she has this trauma she has to go through based off of what Christians did to her in her past. But there's a way for her to get through it, which is through sex surrogate therapy. Now, let's just read you what that's about. Okay? So, on her page, on beopenandhonest.com/services/, okay? It says sex surrogacy. A sex surrogate, also called a surrogate partner or intimacy coach, is a person who helps others overcome social and sexual issues through hands-on intimacy. It is intimate. It is therapeutic. It is not entertainment. Okay? So, all right. Says this option is helpful for those who are sexually inexperienced, okay, have disabilities, in transition, suffering from a mental or physical issue such as anxiety, sex abuse and trauma, that's me, erectile dysfunction, premature rapid ejaculation, sexual confusion, I guess that's also me, social or religious persecution, that was me at the time, and more. Okay, so those are the things I was working on. Most of the stuff I was working on was basically the sex abuse and trauma. Okay, and that's why after the session, my brain would just go through this huge deal. But anyway, just to let you know what the difference between cheating and not cheating is. It comes down to circumstances. So when, I hope you don't, but if you ever get cheated on, you will know the difference. Because you would wish that they would tell you first. You're going to hope that they tell you first and give you a chance to fix whatever is wrong before they cheat. At least you get a warning, okay? But if you do fix it and they go and have sex with somebody else anyway, then yes, they're cheating on you. Especially if you got to find out. Because they didn't tell you, they was just going to continue to do it even though you fixed the problem. There is sometimes things come down to an ultimatum. But guess what? If you still don't care and you still don't do what they like you to do to keep them from having sex with other people or getting their desires filled from other people, if you don't care, okay, and they go and do it, they told you. So you can't say they was cheating because you knew it was going to happen because they freaking told you and you didn't care, okay? Now, in some relationships, some guys don't like that. Some guys are told by their chicks, this is real. Some guys are actually told by their chicks, go get it somewhere else. They tell them to do it because they don't feel like it or whatever. Some guys don't want to. Some guys want to just, a lot of guys are like, oh man, that's hot. Oh yeah, man, you got a great opportunity. But guess what? Everybody's due to have a great relationship with the person they're with. You know that? Okay, so that person may not want to have sex with other people. Maybe they don't feel safe. Maybe they got some mental stuff going on. And maybe she's the only person that makes them feel safe. That's the thing. Okay? So just letting you know, the world ain't that small. And you could be in your situation yourself. But I want to head you off with a warning. Do not, just in case you end up with, I don't know if you're male or female, but just in case you end up with that person that needs sex surrogate therapy to get help, I don't want you cracking no jokes at them, because this is highly freaking delicate. If you are not sensitive enough, you might end up on something called a list. So that list being, I'm gonna let you know how you might be on that list. If they ever felt like they had to get ready to fight you, you probably on the list. If they ever felt like they had to protect themselves from you, you probably on the list. Okay? If they ever was outside with a freaking coat on in the summertime, saying that you're never going to do this to them again, or you're never going to make them feel like this again, you're probably more than likely on the list. That list being, if they ever go crazy, or if somebody messes with them for the last straw, they go on after every person on that list. So it won't be funny. It's not just in case you get that person and you're not sensitive and they're telling you everything and they're open and they're honest about everything they're doing. That's not cheating. You got to understand that. Okay? So if you're not sensitive and you end up on that list, I'm sorry, but that's on you on that, because you have to be extremely supportive. You can't, this is what I mean. Your woman's having problems. Let's say she can't give a BJ. She can't do anal. She can't do whatever experimental stuff you want to do because she gets flashbacks as soon as you get behind her, something like that. Something like that.
Yeah.
That you can't experiment with her. Let's try this. Let's try. You can't be experimental. You can't try that. Then sex gets boring. It's boring. But guess what? But then you won't let her go and figure this stuff out through a sex surrogate therapist that's intimate, because that's cheating. But yet, that's cheating to you. But yet you're telling her, well, you need more sexual experience. So what you trying to get her to do? Go out and cheat? You heard what the lady said? It's therapeutic. It's not entertainment. It's not. You in there learning. Okay, what seems to be the problem? What can we work on? What seems to be your issues? And they're issues. So guess what you're doing? Instead of her snapping at you, you lucky actually that she's with a sex surrogate therapist. Actually, you're actually lucky, because if you make her flashback in the wrong way or him flashback in the wrong way, you're going to get snapped on or flashbacked on, and it's not going to be nice. All right. It could be as simple as some shit, like for me, somebody walking up to me with a freaking cross on and holding a Bible. That or come up behind me like that, or trying to, I can't do that. Okay, it's too similar to the abuse tactics that they was using. It's too similar. I can't do fucking crosses and holding Bible type shit. I can't do that shit. So it might be y'all. I mean, that might be one of you, or might be your chick. And guess what else? She might not be able to do it the religious way. She might have to do it the secular way that doesn't involve that stuff, because all that stuff is trauma built. Mentally. Can't handle it. And I don't want you making fun of her or nothing like that. I'm assuming you would do. I don't know. If you were a chick, stuff happens to guys too up in churches. Mm-hmm. So for years, like me, from age 8 to 17, that was a long ass time. Till my mom got custody of me and I got out. You understand? Okay. So if you're going to say stuff like, if you're going to say that to them, okay, if you're going to say to them, well, you had sex with another woman while was you with your girlfriend, that's called cheating. Or you was going to say, well, you had sex with another man while you was with your boyfriend. That's called cheating. If you say that to them, but you also told them to work on themselves, and you also sat down with them and agreed,
yeah,
okay, and you say that, you're in the wrong. That's not righteous at all, because you're messing with their mind. Their mind's already messed up. It's already something sensitive, okay? So it's nothing you can't make fun of them. Don't poke fun at this stuff. Because man, you don't know when someone's on the edge of snapping, okay? And you're diving deep into when they was in their worst stress, something that's stressing them out. It's still affecting them. It happened in our past, and it's affecting them so bad that they need that. Now, here's what I don't want you to do. Don't ruin her or his chances of getting fixed. If it's working for him, don't ruin it, okay? Here's what I mean. Let's say that's the only freaking sex surrogate therapist that's available for the price that you or she or both of y'all can handle paying. Then you go and make stuff uncomfortable. You might feel jealous. I don't know what you will feel. You might say, she's cheating with you. Oh, or he's cheating with you. Ah. Now the person's like, oh, I'm backing out. But you didn't do no prior research to find them another avenue just for the same price that they can probably go to. Or you didn't look together before doing all that. Now you ruin their chances. For that person, or do you got money in the bank to pay someone else that's a lot more, like $5,000, $6,000, stuff like that? Because that's not sensitive. All right. Now, I'm just letting you know that. And that person might hate you forever. All right. And if you do that to a person you really like, I'm sorry. It's just the way that is. Okay. They might can't stand you anymore. But I mean, time does heal. But if you're really, really sorry, work on gathering up the money to do what you can. But right now in COVID times, when some people want to get the vaccination and some people don't,
yeah,
and you got to have the vaccination to even do sex surrogate therapy right now,
yeah,
I can't even continue. Even though I was told that I could, after like 2 years, I had to make some great changes big changes or something like that. But I can't even continue because I don't, she only works with people that's been vaccinated. And I'm against it right now because Black people dying from it, from the vaccinations. We dying. So I ain't getting it for now. And based off of research, I'm not down with the whole nanotechnology being in my blood type thing to fix whatever problem I have. And then the research is saying it's going to be time released, whenever they want it to be time released. Time release what? I don't want to be involved. But so anyway, that's the difference between the cheating and not cheating when it comes to sex therapy. Read up on it. Get the other person involved, okay? Like I was, okay? That way it's not cheating. Now listen, they will, and you might feel like you're being cheated on. But if you are insensitive, but they still want to have a great relationship with you too, they might go by themselves. They might. Let's say you effed it up for them. You made the sex therapist feel uncomfortable to continue with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say they finally get their second shot, and they had to wait freaking years, 2 years, and it's their last chance. They probably gonna do it without your knowledge, probably, because it's safer that way. You wasn't sensitive enough the first time. This is the best way they can do it. That way you don't have to know. You don't gotta know, and they'll just magically will be getting better, magically will be getting fixed, and they will feel more comfortable that way to them because you're not sensitive enough. You're insensitive. And it's even worse when you don't feel like apologizing. I'm not sorry about nothing. I don't gotta apologize for nothing. Bad boys, bad chicks, bad girls, wherever y'all are. Dang good. I don't gotta say sorry. So not only are you insensitive, you're also not apologizing for it either, because you don't care.
Well, I like to add another perspective, because I know your perspective, because what you went through and stuff like that. I always think it's good to know, like, there's always a lot of perspectives out there, but I think there's also the aspect of adding something different in, because I think that the other person, the person who made the comment, I think it's a chick personally, or it could be a dude, could be a Christian, I know they're Christian. But I know from the comment that they're Christian because they're, they're judging somebody. I mean, I think my response to it, I don't know, what does the comment say? Let's see, what does it say?
So it was on.
Yeah, I know the video.
Okay.
Yeah. This one, it says you had sex with another woman while you're with your girlfriend. That's called cheating. Well, the comment would be cheating if I'm trying to make sure I get this right. It's cheating if you're in a relationship with somebody and then you don't tell them, you go to somebody, have sex with that person, then come back and then they find out. That would be considered cheating. The sex surrogacy is one of those things when you're on the outside looking in and then you're not getting it. Can it look like that? I mean, I think that it can look like that if you don't have all the information, and if there's kind of not everything you need. Like, I recommend that people should take advantage of that if they can get it, because if you grow up and you grow up a Christian and you just grow up and you think, you're trying to fulfill, ideals people have, like, when you grow up, you get married, you have kids, you kind of follow what people in your family do, type of thing. And in a Black community, that's very likely that people do that, when we're teenagers or, even adults. It's not like that's something that we know. Oh, there's sex surrogacy out there. It's not something that is known, I think if somebody is they've gone through abuse, there's different types out there. I wasn't really that aware of how many people it was till one day I was watching Oprah, and she was talking about I believe it was men that had been abused. I believe it was sexually abused by the church. I'm not sure if it's Catholic. Most time people say Catholic, but anyway, the whole studio of guys that were in the audience, all the guys in there have been sexually abused. And that's a lot of people. If you don't believe it, you can go on YouTube. I'm sure you can look it up and you should be able to find the video or whatever of that particular episode. But that's surprising that can happen. And it's not just happens to guys, it can happen to girls as well. And it's a frightening experience. I think with the comment of you had sex with another woman, I'm just quoting it, another woman while you're with your girlfriend and that's cheating. Well, on the outside, it could look like cheating if you don't have all the information. You have to think about the fact of what if somebody is trying to go to that type of service? I mean, wouldn't you want them to get help? I mean, if your loved one had cancer, you want them to go get treatments, right? So that they can still live. You want them to go get chemotherapy. That's what you want them to do, right? Well, sexual abuse, it can probably be similar. I'm not going to say you're going to lose hair or something like that, but, a person who goes through that probably has a lot, that they don't even know that they're dealing with, And yes, it's going to be, if somebody decides to go to a sex surrogacy, I advise both people to go, be it both, like all the preliminary stuff at first. I advise that if the other person's not comfortable, who's went through the abuse, then, there you can back off. I think it's about understanding, because a lot of people don't know a lot about this. A lot of people will probably just look at it as, oh, this is just a way for a guy to run off and do something, or chick to run off and do something, but it's not. I think it's pretty complicated. I mean, imagine you got married to somebody, and then you find, and you don't even find out then. Imagine you find out 5 years down the road that, they have this type of, they went through this type of abuse and stuff like that. And then this is why they didn't want to do certain things. And then you're like, Oh, and some people, depending on who it is, some people are not ready for the maturity of it. I can tell you personally, going, somebody going into it, like anyone, him going into it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, go ahead and do it. It's not until later you realize that the person is more, what I'm saying, than you think it is. I think the first thing is, if somebody has a one-sided view of, because he had, I just say, sexual contact with the sex surrogate therapist, well, and then that's cheating. Well, one thing is that therapy is about helping somebody. That's what it's about. There's a lot of people who go to therapy. There's a lot of people who should go to therapy. There's people who are going through stuff. For example, somebody goes through something. Let's say they're abused. If they're abused, they should have a place they can go to. They should have a counselor they should sit down and talk to. Some people don't want to do it, but counseling, therapy, that's really important. And it's like any other thing. There's therapy for other stuff. Why not for this? I just think that people need to be more, learn more about it. I think this should also be something that people can, not be, closed eyes about it, because every time something's about sex, people are always quick to judge something.
Yeah, babies popping out left and right, 3, 4, something, 5 something kids.
Yeah, and
no birth control being used, or if any was used, they trapping some dude who used it and was totally responsible, and now they want to have these babies.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. Somebody not knowing. I think that if anything, I think support. Somebody, like if you're in a relationship with somebody who, they have to go to the surrogacy, I think it's important to go with them, to kind of get an understanding about what's going to happen, so what's going to happen. You're not shocked or surprised or whatever. I mean, I was shocked and surprised by what happened. I was, because my understanding was, oh, it's going to take, okay, so it's going to be talking to them for like a month. That's what I thought. But it's not like, the other counseling or whatever. The thing is this. Somebody should have the ability to get help or whatever, whether they have, an alcoholic, they do drugs, they've gone through some type of mental distress or something like that. I mean, there's a lot of traumas out there that exist, I think the major thing is the person that made the comment, they kind of have I'm going to judge this as this is what this is. Oh, this is cheating. Yeah, but see, that leads me to say, if they say that that's cheating, which on the outside, I mean, hell, we look at TV, right? Turn on the TV and there is nothing but, shows about, sex and cheating and all that stuff. I mean, there is, Desperate Housewives and Sex in the City and all that stuff. And, sex is one of those things. I mean, it's on TV, but then again, people are not doing things like talking about sex. Like in school, I believe that what, kids in elementary school, middle school, high school, they should be taught about sex. It should be somewhere they understand it. It shouldn't be something all giggly where they're uncomfortable. Because I was in a sex education class, where everybody felt awkward with girls and guys and stuff like that. But it should be more talked about so people can get, so they have a better understanding. Kids shouldn't have to go to, look online to find something out. One hope I have is for this person, I hope you're not in a relationship with somebody who needs to, get some type of therapy. It may not be sex surrogate therapy, but it could be something else, and if you're putting it out here and you're saying, oh, this is like this, then what are you doing at your house? You can be in a relationship right now and the person is on the way, they're about to walk out the door on you. Relationships take, relationships, I mean, you have to build them up. And there's some things you're going to learn about, And I mean, it's up to you guys to decide, oh, we're going to stay, we're going to go type thing. But, it's not like anybody when you're a kid, they're going to tell you, oh, you're going to go through this. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's talking about that.
And it's not funny to help them with something, find a person for them, and then they go do it. And then you get mad about them taking your advice, and now you're upset with them. That's also not cute.
Well, let's talk about that. So let's talk about that aspect. If somebody, you know, let's say, for example, you went to, you know, sex surrogacy or whatever, and then, would you say the stop part? I'm honestly drawing a blank. You said it's not cute to stop something?
No. It's not cute to blame. You know how there's people out there, like for example, I had my dad help me with my homework one time.
Okay.
With math.
Okay.
I didn't get a good grade on it, and I got blamed. But I got his help on it. And that I got grounded. It's like that. So it's like when you recommend somebody to go for something, you read everything, then you agree to it, then they go and do it.
Okay.
Then when they are done, or when they do what you asked them to do, or what you both agreed upon, then you go and get upset at them for actually taking the advice. Okay, that causes a mental contradiction in their mind. Okay, that's like a form of mental abuse that I don't want you to end up doing. I'm just warning you about that.
So the first thing is that somebody, to talk about mental abuse, I'm not really an expert on or anything. One thing is that if somebody's gone through mental abuse, and I'm not contradicting you or anything like that, if somebody's gone through mental abuse, if somebody else has never gone through it, they're not going to know, you know, this is this or this is that. You know what I'm saying? Because people, they grow up, they see people do stuff, they learn habits and stuff like that. For some people, a certain action, you know, could be abuse, a word could be abuse. And sometimes people don't even know that person is, you know, if they say this, then this is, you know, this takes them back to, you know, abuse. And I think one thing that I recommend for people who have been through abuse is to slowly, they don't have to start off on day one, but it's a good idea if you're in a relationship, you know, even if you're not even in a relationship, but it's a good idea, you know, it's all stuff different when you're single versus when you're in a relationship. But I think it's a good idea to, once the person, like they've been through abuse of any type, if they feel comfortable at some point, they don't have to talk about the details. You know, they don't have to be like, oh, this happened, you know, because some people that's like, whoa, you know, type thing. So it's more like, I think at some point, if the person who's been abused, if they're comfortable, I think it's good for them to, you know, try to, you know, tell that person, hey, well, if you say this or when you say this, you know, this kind of takes me back to this, you know, abuse and stuff like that. Because a lot of times people don't know. You know, they're just thinking, oh, well, I heard my grandpa say this, or my aunt say this, or this person say this, you know, like on TV too. People see things on TV too, you know, and a person doesn't know about that. Like when I was watching Law and Order, I think it was a couple weeks ago, and I'll get stuck in Law and Order watching it and stuff. A lot of people do too, but things that people say, there was this situation where there was a guy that was I think he was like I don't know what he was, but some kind of murderer or something. Maybe pedophile or something. No, rapist probably, but this guy said something. And for people who have been through abuse, then they may feel like, you know, that probably takes them back to something that they're not comfortable with. The point is that if you're watching a show like Law and Order, Special Victims Unit, SVU, then, you know, if you're in a couple with somebody and you're watching Law and Order, you think, oh, it's awesome. Then if it is going to be somebody, if it is going to be a situation where somebody's going to be playing this pedophile, rapist, or murderer, or something like that, it's a good idea, you know, if somebody's abused, if you're uncomfortable with it, say, hey, this is, you know, hey, you know, this is uncomfortable. Even if it's not, you know, if it takes them there, you know, I think if both people communicate about it, I think that's pretty cool, you know, because you, like TV, you never know what they're going to say. You know what I mean? I'm just making a determination because some regular occurrence, turn on the TV, can start that up. That's one thing I was thinking. The person's comment, I'm just going back to that. I wonder how caring the person is who made the comment. You know, how loving, how would they feel if somebody that they loved went through that? You know, what if your child went through that? What if your sister went through that? What if your aunt, uncle, grandparents went through that? What if a, you know, best friend went through it? How would you feel if somebody that you knew went through that? You know, and they're trying to navigate life because there's no book of life. There's no instructions in life. You know, there's instructions to drive a car, but there's not any instructions about how you need to do things. And you learn from experience. You really do.
Something I have to tell you though, that if you do want them, let's say your girlfriend or your boyfriend happened to be the person that needed this therapy, the sex surrogate therapy, which like they said, it's intimate. It's right there. Read it. Okay. So then what if they say, okay, you're not being supportive, but I do want to get fixed. I don't want to ruin my chances. So then you had this break. Y'all took a break. I'm gonna let you know that break's gonna last a long effing time. You know why? You know why? Because it's not free. The sex surrogate therapy is not free. It's not. You got to pay like $200, $250, something like that. I'm not joking. Okay. And guess what else? Depending on your area, it might cost you $5,000. It might, if the person has to fly to them or they have to go to their location or something like that. It could be really freaking expensive. All right. So that break y'all about to have for a long freaking time. For what? For you being insensitive and for you effing up. Seriously. Because sometimes it's that important to some people. It's that important to get that fixed. Because everybody that's with that person deserves to have a great relationship with them, intimacy wise. It's not fair for my lady that she can't squeeze my butt when she doesn't have a cute butt. That's not fair. Because I flash and shit like that. Flashback to a time when he did that. It's not fair. It's not fair that, well, you can't be on top of me in certain ways because I can't handle the weight of someone being on top of me because of the guy. That's not fair. But guess who is helping me work on that and go through that stress? A sex therapist. Because it's not fair for me to flash back on her and she's just trying to be nice. She's just trying to be intimate with me on a relationship loving level. That's not a fair thing. What is fair is for me to get that fixed at a sex surrogate therapist, have her deal with it so that it gets fixed, so that I can let my lady know, guess what, lady, you can squeeze my booty, we're okay. You can get behind me, you'll be okay. You can get on top of me, we okay. And the relationship grows because I'm working on myself and the improvements can be seen. Just like that. Everybody deserves to have a great relationship. They just do. I don't know what you're thinking. And guess what? This sucks. You had sex with another woman while with your girlfriend. That's called cheating. That sucks because what if your chick is the threesome chick? Yeah, and she got friends and she's going to surprise you with two other chicks. And she brings two other chicks in to surprise you. And you say that. You say, well, I can't have sex with another girlfriend, with another chick while with my girlfriend because that's called cheating. You're going to blow and mess the whole thing up and mess her whole surprise up. Dummy.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. The same can kind of go for, you know, like let's say you have a guy, he brings his friend over because his girlfriend, you know, talked about a threesome. It can be the same thing. You know, that sounds to me like the comment sounds like this person is in a box. You know what I mean? They have like a, it's like, oh, it's right or it's wrong. It's black, white, you know, it's very extreme. And I think it would have been better for the person to ask, a question and say, well, hey, what led you to, seek this out? At least asking a question instead of saying, well, this is this because they're judging. That tells me that for people, that tells me that they may not know anything about anybody, but they just judge people. I watch on YouTube and Facebook, what is it called? Darman, where, they say, don't judge people. Don't judge a book by its cover. If you're the person who made the comment, maybe you need to watch those videos, because those can be very real situations. I just think about the fact that maybe this person doesn't know that maybe a lot of times people don't know that their kids are probably going through stuff, or somebody close to them. They really don't know. You really never know how close that abuse can get. For some people, you may even know people. It may not even be abuse. It could be rape. That could be something that can happen. I've heard about it. It's not just something that you turn on the TV and I watch Law and Order and stuff like this. It's not just that. I've heard about people I know that have gone through it. And, maybe for those of you who don't know, for somebody who's raped, their relationship can end. And it's not because the person who was raped wanted that to happen, but because this person who was raped, they're going through all these different things. They're going through all these scenarios. It's just like somebody's abused. They're going through these different things. I've known somebody who's went through that. Personally, one of my parents went through it. I'll never forget. My mom was telling me about what happened to her, and nobody, you never think that what would happen to my parent or somebody I know, but it can happen to somebody It can, and how caring is it of you to say, oh well, if this is this, this is this. A spade is a spade. It sounds just like that. Is this? No, it's not. Because you don't have enough information. That's the thing. That just tells me this person goes around judging everybody they know. But what about when somebody turns around and judges you?
Well, another thing is when I read this, you had sex with another woman or with your girlfriend, that's called cheating. I have a feeling that it very well could be that person themselves, that whoever that person was that had sex with another, if this could be a chick, it could be a guy that went through something, because it's not really mainstream about guys going through stuff.
Yeah, it's not.
So this could literally be a chick that's talking about her guy that went to seek help. Well, you need to seek some help. You need to seek some counseling. And then he did. And he happened to find him a sex surrogate therapist to work through these things.
Maybe.
And then she considered that cheating. And then they broke up. And now she's mad about the fact that they're not together anymore because she was insensitive. And now that's why she's come out with that. Well, you had sex with another woman while I was your girlfriend. That's called cheating. It just says woman. It doesn't say sex surrogate therapist. It says it like as if there's a relationship going on, where the other person is getting interest in you and wants to be your girlfriend too, kind of thing. But that's not what sex surrogate therapists are. They're never going to be your girlfriend. It's their job to do what they're doing. It's their counseling. Like I said, it's therapeutic.
I can see how that would be.
Maybe they salty.
I think the insensitiveness comes from they're not. I think it comes from, and if this is the case, it comes from, maybe her boyfriend. I'm just assuming it's a chick. Maybe her boyfriend didn't feel comfortable. Maybe he didn't feel like. Maybe this chick, she could have been a Christian. Maybe she said repeatedly, could have been, oh, I don't believe in this, I don't believe in that. Only the Bible, seraphims, Jesus, all this, what I'm saying? Could have been anything. Maybe this person didn't believe in that. They could have been deeply religious, because because you have people who are deeply religious and they don't see past, oh, we can just pray it out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if it was a situation like that, maybe her guy didn't feel comfortable because he probably mentioned things to her about what happened, but then she couldn't see past the Christianity. Oh no, oh no, that's not what in my faith. That's not what I heard. My pastor didn't say that, so I'm just saying like that. Maybe the chick was deeply religious.
That would suck. Because
maybe.
What if it was just like me? What if it was happening at the in church for them? That's a trigger. I mean, they wouldn't even.
If it happens.
That's a big ass trigger.
If that's the case, I mean, that's what I'm thinking could have happened. It could have been that, because if the guy didn't feel comfortable talking. Now, of course, there's also the situation of let's say that the guy asked the girl, let's say he said, hey, I'm going through this, and something else. Let's say the guy admitted to the girl, hey, well, I went through abuse in my past and this and that other. And then let's say the girl thought, and this is what some chicks do. Let's say the chick thought it was a joke. And then she recorded him saying it. And then she recorded what he said. And then she put it on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and everything. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw somebody do that. And I was like, why would you do that? It was like one of those informational or animation videos that except it was like real people type thing. But it was, the situation was a guy was asking a girl was asking a guy to marry. The girl was engaging the guy, and he thought it was funny and stuff to go on when she left, I think. The thing is, I think the girl situation, what I'm saying is, and also what I'm saying is that if the guy says something that's very deep, and he trusted the girl, and then the girl thought it was a joke, and she recorded it and posted it and stuff like that, some people don't have a sense of some women. I'm just gonna say women, and it could be guys too, but some girls think if a guy says something that's emotional or deep inside of them, then they think that the guy is not man enough or macho. I've heard about this, and that's not okay. Women, men. If you have somebody in a relationship and they say something that's very deep down that they didn't want to say, I don't care if they was drunk and they said it. Because sometimes people drink and they'll be drunk to say things. But if they say something, if you can't handle it, just let them know, hey, I'm sorry to hear that. And tell them you'll get back to them. Don't record it. Don't put it on social media. Don't do that. That's not okay. If a guy is communicating how he feels, I know a lot of women may not be used to that, and the guy saying something, but it will be the same thing as if you're saying something. If you're saying something about something you went through and it was very private to you, and you want to confide in somebody, then keep it private. If you can't handle it, then do break it off with that person. Let them know, hey, I can't handle it. I can't really handle this. This is not really something I expected. It's not you. It's just I'm not there yet.
And I'll give you a clue, so you can tell what type of person you are. If you ask them, tell me what's wrong. I don't want to always be guessing about what's wrong. Tell me what's wrong. Okay. And then they do tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But then when they tell you what's wrong, all right, and it involves a flashback or something you did that was an accident or something like that, and they tell you what's wrong, and then you cause a big fuss, argument, it lasts all night, it might get talked up again the next morning and all that other type of crap. Okay, and now You know, the whole day is ruined, or now that person has to feel like crap for actually telling you what's wrong, because per your request for you to tell them what's wrong, and they did it, and it ended up bad. So when they don't tell you what's wrong the next time, or the next time, or the next time after that, it's because it didn't go positively the first time. They might forgive you, they might try again the second time, and they're going to be leery as crap when they tell you. But when they do tell you, and it ends bad again, this is what's going to happen the third time. The third time when you say, won't tell me what's wrong, they're going to see it this way. Oh, no, it's just a setup. She just basically setting me up because tell me so I can tell her what's wrong so she can start arguing or something, so she can get her rocks off on treat me like shit. I ain't telling her nothing. That's what's going to happen to you. That's next. And it only takes twice of you effing up and being that way.
I did want to do one thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing I wanted to talk about was the break aspect. You said that you were talking about that a person who was abused, they may go to sex surrogacy, you know, during a break they would do that. And then you said the break would be long. I know I'm type butchering the thing, but
right. I mean, if they get
you said it's important to them.
Right. If they get told from this person, well, you had sex with another woman while with your girlfriend, so that's called cheating. If that happened to them, and it was like, okay, well, you're right. While with you, I went and I did have sex with another woman to work on my different or for myself because that's what you asked. You wanted to have a normal relationship with me. Well, I'm trying to make it that way, but I see that you find it as cheating. With a sex surrogate therapist while I'm in a relationship with you. That's what you said. So let me not be in a relationship with you at this moment in time. Let me go fix myself so I'm not in a relationship with you, and let me come back in a relationship when I'm done.
So,
but that's what I mean. That might take a long time because they don't understand it's not free, and it can cost a lot of money over time. Which means 2 weeks. One of those checks is going to go to rent. 2 weeks again, that check's going to go to bills and whatever they can save or spend on that sex surrogate therapy counseling.
Well, I had a question about the break. So the break is not being in a relationship, right?
Yeah, because
trying to make sure that's the understanding. Okay, so a break would be the third. Okay, so if that's the case, then yeah, it would take time because they're not in a relationship anymore. Because then you know, it'll take a while to, like you said, for them to go through that. And what guarantee does the person, you know, there's no guarantee that the relationship will be rekindled, you know what I'm saying? Because the likelihood with the person who's abused, they may move on with somebody else, you know, they get to know and stuff like that. You know, this can be a person in the past, could be a future person, maybe somebody who went through something like they did, maybe, you know. So I think for the person who made the comment, I think that it sounds like that could be what happened to them, that they didn't know, you know, or, you know, who knows? I mean, there could be a lot of things, you know. I think that, let's say the person who went through abuse, let's say, you know, let's say that they finally got to a certain point in their life where they said, hey, you know, the things I'm doing, the job I work, you know, where I live, the relationship, all these things about myself, you know, and maybe they got to that point where they said, hey, you know, I'm the person, you know, they decided they're going to be true to themselves. And they said, hey, I'm going to start working on this. But maybe their, you know, partner may not have been, this person could have been the partner that wasn't, you know, supportive. That person could have been set in how things were benefiting, you know, benefiting from the marriage, where they lived, lifestyle, friends, you know, keeping up with the appearances type thing. I think if a break is not the relationship, I mean, I think it's good for the person to take the time that they need to work through it, you know.
Just know that person, that there may or may not be a relationship when it breaks over and after they fix themselves. It's a long ass time. They might have to Because let me put it this way: if it's the $5,000 one, that's going to take some freaking saving, and it might take all dang year. They might not even begin to work on themselves because they had to spend the whole year saving up just to freaking work on it.
I think it'll take longer than a year. I think it may take longer. I mean, especially if they're.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I just think it's
like the first year they'll have to save, and that's the first year. So while you're split up, you're the guy or you're the chick thinking that, oh, it's been a year, aren't they done yet? No. Matter of fact, the second year is when they finally just got started because they had to freaking save up all the dang money to do so, just to do the counseling. And now they're finally getting started on year number 2.
Yeah, I agree. It could take a long time, especially if to save. I mean, look at the way things are now.
That's why it's important to let you know there may or may not be a relationship when you get done or when that person's done. And that's if they accept you back. That's if they want to go back to you. With you being mean like that, I mean, people, let's put it this way. You ever had a bully in school? Did you avoid them? Yeah. Did you avoid them until finally one day you had to face them and fight them to stop the bullying? Yeah. It's like that. If you're mean and you're a freaking bully, they're going to avoid you. It's the same concept. No one gets in a relationship to be bullied. No one really does that. Just letting you know.
They don't.
All right. Yeah. If you have anything else to say, you can say it. I think I've said enough about the subject.
I think I'm good. I think I've been kind of scattered with everything.
All right.
I just think it's.
There you go. And at some point, threesomes might be a thing. You get older, stuff might get dull, especially when you have certain traumas and you can't do certain experimental things. And then at some point, a threesome might pop up and it might be ready for you.
What do you call that?
But if you figure that they had sex with another woman, so while with your girlfriend, you figure that's cheating, then you can't do a threesome.
But what about that other thing? What's that thing? Not threesome, but it's poly.
Oh,
yeah. Poly.
The polygamy?
Poly. I think it's called poly.
Well, this person would never believe in polygamy. I mean,
listen, no, but I'm just saying. I think
you had sex with another woman while with your girlfriend. That's called cheating. That's this round peg person. They would.
No. I'm just saying that, like with threesomes, I think poly may be something that's probably going to come up because then
poly might.
Yeah, because
you have sometimes you might have a chick that doesn't want to give you up, but she don't want to have sex with you either. But all the other qualities of you is good, so she might have a person that has sex with you, and now you're in a poly relationship. For one chick does everything else for you. The other chick, say one chick don't like giving BJs, so she has another chick in your relationship to give you the BJs, and it's somebody y'all both trust and know, and you know that she's safe and won't have any STDs and stuff like that. Might be poly, or might be pregnant, might have 2 kids, and you both are trying to work stuff out with this guy and try to get a car, try to get a house, and then once y'all achieve that, then that's the end of the relationship. I've heard of that one. Yeah, that's been achieved. So
I'm just saying that could be something that maybe a person who's I think it could help a relationship, I guess, if it works probably for some things. I just think that person's probably not going to believe in that. I don't think they are going to. I think they're kind of what do you call that? They're old fashioned. Yeah. They have a set way of doing stuff. And I think that's kind of sad too, because what does that say about the person who's with them? Like, that means that they don't want to experiment. They don't want to try anything new. They don't.
People kind of that can kill your relationship. That boredom stuff. Yeah. But that's why you go see a sex surrogate therapist to help you out with your problems in the bedroom that person should be able to enjoy with you.
And one last thing I do want to say is, sex surrogate is not just for a guy; it can also be for women as well. A lot of women, they don't know how to. Let's say you're a woman. You got married. You don't really know how to do stuff in the bedroom. Type of thing. That can help where you learn how to do things.
How she's right.
Jobs. You learn about your vagina. you learn different things. And I think for women, it'll really help because if you were a virgin and then you got a relationship, start having sex, you may not know, you know. And what if your guy wants you to be more adventurous? You know, it's a such thing. Not every woman's gonna know, you know, they don't. Not every woman knows how to be, you know, experimental or, you know, how things should be done, how to, and it's not just about the sex, but how to take care of your vaginal health, you know, or if you're a guy, your, you know, penis, what you should do, how to keep yourself clean, you know, type thing. I mean, there's other things. For women, I'm just saying that a lot of women are saying, you know, oh, well, why would I need that? Well, you know, are you aware of where your G spot is? You know, are you aware of that? Are you know, okay with certain positions? You know, do you have traumas that you know, certain things like that, you know, or, you know, things that you've been raised with, you know, I mean, I think experience is helpful. You know, of course, some people are too scared to, you know, do that. They're, oh, it'll get away in my relationship or something. But maybe it'll spice up your relationship. But you just have to be open to trying it out, because I know there's a lot of women out there who probably don't know, you know, they're not experienced, you know, they don't know all that.
That's what I read. Said right there. Sex surrogacy, this option is helpful for those who are sexually inexperienced. It's another one of the things they said.
Yeah, and you know, and also on the page that mentioned disability, or somebody with
disabilities in transition, suffering from mental or physical issues such as anxiety, sex abuse or trauma, erectile dysfunction, premature rapid ejaculation, sexual confusion, social or religious persecution, and more. So
yeah,
there you have it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, but I just want to say, you know, you can actually have, you know, learn more about yourself. You know, even if you haven't gone through anything, you can. You know, there's a lot of us out here who aren't as experienced, you know, and you do that because you think, oh, well, this is a relationship and I'll figure it out as I go along, you know. But maybe you don't know, and you won't know until you're in the situation, you know.
And first you gotta
learn.
Then you gotta get yourself to be interested too.
Yeah.
And comfortable with talking to the other person about what makes them interested. And you gotta tell the truth. You can't be movie like, or you can't make it sound good. It's got to be something you really like for real. Because if you say, oh, flowers, romance, and that might not be what you like. You might like it rough. Maybe. And that's why will turn you on. You might be a push up against the wall type chick, thrown on the bed type chick, and not this romantic. You might just be saying stuff because it sounds good, but it's still not working for you because you haven't told the truth yet. All right? Are we good? High five. Woo! All right. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.